Greenish chess fans, and yes, I am serious. I will be trying to defeat Mittens using 15 knights. As I'm sure most of you know, Mittens is currently one of the top engines in the world, and this will be a Herculean task, but I'll try it anyway. So I'll start by developing my corner knight because that makes the most sense to me, and he immediately occupies the center with e5. So I guess I'll continue developing my corner knights. I'll play knight f3, and he plays c5. Okay, I'll continue developing the corner knights. This makes the most sense to me, and I'll attack his center with this move. So he defends it with b6, and one of the biggest problems in that position is that I don't have any pawn breaks. So for example, in this position, b4 would be a really nice move to loosen up the d4 square, but it's unfortunately an impossibility. So I'll have to sacrifice my knights if I want to gain space. So I I'll continue developing my knights. I'll play knight e3. He plays h5. Okay, his idea is obviously to push this h-pawn and exert a lot of pressure on this side of the board. I'll ignore that for now. I'll put my knight in the center. He plays g5. Okay, g5. And the idea is obvious. He'll try pushing his pawns to win as much material as possible. Now I have to find a smart way to develop my knights, because if I move one of these two knights, this square becomes unprotected, and then h4, h3 becomes a real pain in the neck, so I won't do that. I'll develop this knight. So my hope is that he plays 4, because that would mean I can sacrifice my knights, a knight for two very important central pawns, and I think that would be a very good trade for me. So we have bishop e7, so I guess this bishop has some sort of an x-ray on this knight too, and that's really annoying, but what can I do? I have to live with it. I'll play knight here, and I'll sacrifice my knight. So I've sacrificed my knight, but I've pulled his king out in the open. So I guess I'll have some compensation for it. Okay, I'll put a check here. And okay, I've won a very important pawn, but more importantly, this pawn was the backbone of his entire structure. So my hope right now is that I can target this very weak e6 pawn to my advantage. And the opportunity I'm seeing right now is that I can play knight to g6 and trade this very strong dark square bishop, which is defending a lot of key squares. So I'll do that. Let's play that. He moves his rook, obviously, and I'll take his bishop. And he takes with the knight developing. Okay, I'm fine with that, and I'll also develop. Let's see, if I put my knight here, he'll play h4, I guess. But on h4, I can probably play bishop, knight g4, sorry, and I'll sort of wiggle my way out of the position. So let's do that. Let's play knight f3, and he pushes c4. Aha. The thing is, by playing knight to f3, I've put my knight in an unprotected, in a position where it isn't protected. So if I take here twice, he'll take my knight on f3. So I really don't want to allow his bishop to become that active. But he's also threatening to take this knight. So I guess I'll play my knight to d4. So he takes, and I'll take with this with this knight. It makes the most sense to me. I've got to have this knight here to protect me from this past h-pawn. So okay, he plays knight to c6. He's willing to make some trades, and I'll do that. I'll trade, and I'll offer my bad pieces for his good ones. So I'll play this knight here. He takes, and now I guess he'll play b4. Okay, he doesn't. He plays a5. Now these past corner pass pawns are really scary. But okay, I won't be frightened by them. I'll pull my knight back, see what happens. Okay, so he pushes a3, a4, sorry, threatening a3. So I have to find a way to defend this position. Maybe I can. Let's put our knight to d4. I think it's a very good blockading square. He plays a3 as expected, and now maybe let's put our knight to b4. With our knight on b4, we're stopping a2 and we're putting some pressure on the d5 square. So I think he played queen to e7 to stop us from taking on d5. So it's a pretty sensible move. And now I gotta find a way to create something. Okay, I'll put my king to d2. I think the king is safer here than it is on e1. And he plays queen to d6, attacking my knight. So I have to somehow defend it. Let's see how I'll do it. But there's also this possibility of knight to f5 with a fork, which is really attracting me right now. But it also allows him some d4 nasties, but he'll fork me and open up his bishop, so I don't like that. But I think I'll have to go for this because, well, I'll do it. I'll try it. He puts his queen to f8. Huh. I think his idea is if I take on h6, he'll take on f3. Okay, okay, I'm willing to make that trade. Let's put. Okay, so he takes on h6 actually. So uh, let's see how we can make some progress because let's see the material in this position. A bishop and a knight are pretty equal. A rook is worth 2 knights, let's say. He has 5 pawns, that's 2 knights, and a queen is worth 3 knights. So we're about even in this position. But his pawns are really scaring me. I don't know how to defend this. Maybe I'll have to give up a knight or something. Okay, I think my best bet is to put this knight in a blockade. It isn't doing anything on c2. And he plays bishop to c8. I guess his idea is to defend these squares. So if he plays h4, so I can't blockade here. That's, I think, the idea behind this move. But it also leaves this pawn unprotected. So let's see what to do here. Okay, let's take this pawn and threaten c7. So he gives a check. Okay, we'll move. Takes. Okay. So I can't allow him to take here because then I won't be able to defend the queening square. So I'll put my knight on e3. It's really on a nice centralized position. And okay, I've lost a knight here, but okay, so his pawns did get sort of weak. Did get weakened by this, I think. Now I have to find a way to keep the pressure on him. Maybe I was thinking of playing my knight here and putting this other knight to f2, but that seems a bit too slow. But I can't see any other options. I'll play this knight here. Plays h4 as expected. I'll try to play my knight here. He plays h3. Okay, so I'll put my king to e3. I think the king is actually pretty safe here, and he plays h2. I think this leaves the f3 pawn unprotected, so I'll take. He'll promote to a bishop. Why did he promote to a bishop? Is he trolling me? Okay, I'm not really sure if I even want to take this bishop. Why would I? Let's see the material. This he is up. Okay, let's take and let's centralize. So he pushes it here. Let's take this bad boy. He pushes a2. I guess I'll capture. And he plays queen b1. Okay, his queen is becoming really dangerous. But okay, I think I'll put my king here so queen e4 doesn't come with a check as expected, and I'll put my knight here. And all of my knights are protected. They're sort of in a chain. But I think that won't help. A rook here can block. I'll put my king here. Queen to d4. I have to move my king here because it seems the most protected square. And he takes. And okay, I'll put my knight here. And yeah, I think I'll resign in this position because I'll lose this knight and